Hey guys, welcome to another commentary done by Diggity. This is BSL 20, round of 8, match 4, or I guess series 4. Match 4 is what's listed on the overlay. Fischei versus NewOcean. This is going to be game 4 between the two. It is currently 2-1 in Fischei's favor, but I might favor NewOcean on this map because we're on Eclipse. Up right in corner we have NewOcean starting as the yellow Protoss. Bottom left in corner we have Fischei starting as the black Protoss. It is a 2-player map and has been very popular. If you guys if you don't remember it, haven't seen it in quite a long time, natural expansion, very wide, natural there. I feel like the 9 o'clock location, I feel like the bottom left-hand corner has some advantages depending on time period. So getting to the third is a little bit more challenging because you're opening up at your opponent versus the 1 o'clock base, which I feel like is a little bit easier to hold in a fan-out position based on how the chokes lie. You have the high ground on opposite ends that it's sort of mirroring, but I feel like the upper left-hand corner in particular can favor bottom left in the long term. You got the double 3000 gas here, but you got to go down a ramp in the upper left-hand corner. That being said, this is PvP. Rarely does it go to that late a stage, so we'll have to see. We've got gateway opener top right, gateway opener bottom left. That does not exclude the possibility of a 2-gate from either player. Fischei is going to go ahead and send out his initial scout across the map. If NewOcean did opt for a 2-gate, well, it's a 2-player map, so you don't have to worry about scouting. Looks like he's going to get, and I know that there's certain players that do opt to not scout on this map. Looks like there is a 2-gate play here from NewOcean. We do have gateway assimilator, so Fischei is going to see it. Now keep in mind, we had previous matches where this did not work out for Fischei, where it was 2-gate, he saw it coming, and he still had trouble. I'm going to presume that he might adjust, and I'm hoping to see, rather than the shield battery, the gate, cybernetics core gate. I feel like that tends to be the stronger of the plays defensively. Forward pylon getting dropped, so I think it is going to be shield battery defense once again. No assimilator as of yet. Fischei still has the probe hanging out in the background. Be a little bit earlier for assimilator regardless. First zealot should be up momentarily. NewOcean is sending a probe to the bottom left. Second zealot queued up, so it looks like Fischei going to opt. Still hasn't dropped his cybernetics core for this, by the way, is opting to get a second zealot out on the field. But still has some information. Loses his probe, however, in his opponent's base to provide the additional scouting, and now we see that assimilator plop down. We could see something wild from NewOcean, where he, instead of fielding these 3 zealots forward, decides to actually hold them back, to maybe mess with Fischei. Fischei losing, by the way, the scouting out on the front. Cybernetics core in the midst of this. Third zealot queued up here for Fischei. 2 of the zealots making the way across with this third zealot canceled. I think never mind, 2 more zealots queued up. Interesting. Where did the third zealot go? There should have been 3 zealots. I'm kind of curious if one of them got canceled in the midst of the cybernetics core also dropping behind this. And a shield battery is plopping down on the front. Third zealot out. Cybernetics core finished, and we should see the first Dragoon queued up eventually. Fischei's dedicated a probe to making its way across and attacking. So 4 zealots coming in pairs of 2 across the map. The longer this lasts, the worse it gets for NewOcean theoretically. But is he going to queue up addition? No, he is holding right this second. He's holding momentarily. Worker count slightly ahead on NewOcean's side. Probe battling probe, by the way, underneath, so I don't think this probe's going to be much of a factor. I don't think he might be able to get a mana pylon off, but it doesn't look like he's going to opt to do so. Forge being built for NewOcean in the midst of this. 2 on 1 there for NewOcean, and the Dragoon is right here, so he needs to be a little bit careful. It looks like that probe did die somewhere in the background. It looks like that probe on probe violence probe was able to get the kill. And Fischei meandering out and a pylon getting dropped. I think NewOcean, with his 4 zealots and some cannons behind this, might be able to get that natural expansion up a little bit earlier, or at least feel more comfortable grabbing that natural expansion in the midst of this. We have a robotics and second gateway for Fischei. And there's the first cannon. There is a probe walking alongside to try to get some scouting information. The zealots are not very good at swatting probes, keep in mind. Fischei's checking the 1 o'clock location first, just to make sure that it wasn't a quick double expansion. I think he's well aware of NewOcean's tactics potentially, and that he might have folded around into a double base, but we've got Fischei wandering up. He's able to scout. Yeah, I was about to say he's going to get all the way into the main. Sees the natural expansion, sees the cannon, and now honestly can halt production if he wants to. He's already got the shuttle queued up and the observatory alongside. Interesting, he decided to opt to sneak the shuttle here in this build order, but he could cancel all of it and go ahead and grab a Nexus for himself in the midst of this. Instead, continuing to build the shuttle, I'm slightly concerned that he's putting himself in a position where, unless he immediately drops robotics, or very rapidly drops robotics and makes his way out with that robo to engage NewOcean and get some value, that he's going to end up just inherently behind over the long term. NewOcean, by the way, 3 workers ahead, and should build that lead. Natural expansion up much more rapidly. NewOcean, by the way, does seem allergic to Reaver. He has not gone Reaver in many of these matches. Perhaps doesn't like microing them. I'm not sure what all of the reasons are for that. Robotic support bay is up. Reaver's queued up as well. But the trick of this for Fischei now is skipping the... So he saw the Nexus. Skipping the Nexus at this stage means he does need to get value out of this. The Observer is going to wander out, come across this army. Going to see the bulk of it making its way across. A little bit crazy here from NewOcean. This is not what I expected out of him. 5 Dragoons, 4 Zealots versus 4 Dragoons, 4 Zealots. Yeah, stepping out. I think he just wanted to maybe check the natural, maybe see if there's a timing, and backing out otherwise. So he knows there's some version of a tech play in the midst of this. I'm expecting this Observer to cycle around just to see maybe if he can make his way up. Like, he's going to get free information. He's going to be able to make his way up, see the gateway count. We got 3 gateways kind of spread across. Fischei's Observer path, though, is such that, ooh, hopefully he doesn't lose this Observer to this cannon. Sees the robotics in the midst of this. Does he move up to see that he does? Okay, sees the edge of the 3rd gateway now. Almost didn't catch that 3rd gateway. So might have thought there was a different play happening than what was in fact revealed. Now Fischei starting to move out. He's got at least the low ground. Is he just going to hold and grab his... If he just holds and grabs additional base, I think he's just going to end up way, way too far behind. I have to think he's going to move once this 2nd Reaver's out. Not upgrading speed, but it's probably going to... He's going to need to poke at the front. And he's going to have 3 gateways, maybe 4 gateways. I should bring the vision back online. 3 gateways and a robotics, although the robotics not going to be providing any support troops down the line. Zealot was wandering out to scout. Fischei now making his way forward. I think the armies are just about equalized, to be honest. Slight advantage to NewOcean, being that he's got a closer reinforcement point, so the X factor is going to have to be the Reavers, and Fischei's ability to both field them and get some solid shots off of them. That will be a little bit easier than usual because he's got this Observer right over that army to be able to spot everything to shell. So you could probably drop the Reavers off, wander them forward, and get a really nice place shot. If he targets this Zealot in particular, is going to hit the nice bunch of them. Yeah, engaging, getting a good amount of damage for free right there. Shuttle scooping back up. He can't overcommit, but he does need to get something done with this attack. Re-engaging, getting some good surface area. 1 Reaver taking some serious shots. 2nd Reaver wasn't firing there for a moment. This Reaver a little bit far out of the attack. But NewOcean's still getting walked back. He's way down on supply right this second after all this fight. He's certainly going to have to pull probes if he's going to hold this. Nice little shuffle there from Fischei, keeping both the Reaver and shuttle health very, very healthy. The cannon still holds, but the Dragoons are almost completely off the map here. We've got 4 remaining, and we've got 6 out in the field. Are we going to see a rally across the map? No rally, and 1 Reaver's still alive. And NewOcean calling it there, giving the good luck and hope to see you in the next, and good luck, and I hope you advance in the next round. So Fischei advances. He's now on the verge of another berth to the finals, but he's going to have a tough opponent in Biaxter in the next round. Go ahead and see if I can have a hotkey to swap that view. Fischei versus Gosifer. Whew. That is going to be a tough series. I wanted to say Biaxter, but I recognize it's Biaxter Yui, and then Gosifer Fischei. And I don't remember if this is the Final Four I called some time ago or not. That being said, I am absolutely in no way, shape, or form surprised by this Final Four. This is an extremely strong group. here in the semifinals. I was expecting NewOcean maybe to sneak through here with some tricky play. I think just running into Fischei, a very strong opponent. But anyway, look forward to it. Semifinals are now best of 5. Appreciate all y'all. Thanks for listening.